guys, welcome to another video. Today is a sort of update on the car. I've now hit, or just gone over 35,000, yeah, just about to hit 36,000 miles now. So yeah, another update in terms of ownership experience and everything, and also a bit of an update on a few little changes I've made to the car. So yeah, so here we are, back again, same spot as last time. You can probably see pretty much all the changes I've made here. Basically, I don't know why, but I decided to have a look at tinting the headlights. I know, a bit chavvy, but you know, I quite like the idea. So I bought some fairly cheap wrap. It's APA dark smoke, which I think is, I don't know, somewhere between 30 and 50%. As long as it's under 50% light reduction, then it's still legal. So I thought I'll buy some of that. It's fairly inexpensive, it's about 30 quid, so I'll give that a go. So yeah, that was the first change. I've never done wrapping before. Bought myself a heat gun, and also an E-type. Bought myself a heat gun and the wrap, obviously, and a little kind of squeegee and scalpel kit and everything that you need to supposedly do it. So, which again was pretty inexpensive. So I thought, yeah, well, why not? Let's give it a go. If it goes wrong, you just peel it off and job. You know, nobody's any the wiser. So, so yeah, smoked both the headlights. I had some spare wrap left over. Now, I'm not a big fan of the AliExpress black badge cover, which is what pretty much everybody has. I'm not a big fan. I feel like it's a little bit too. I feel like it's a bit bulky and a bit too much. I don't know. I don't think it looks a bit tacky, a bit sort of aftermarket. Maybe my car looks aftermarket now, but that was why I hadn't gone down that route. But anyway, I kind of thought, oh, I'm going to leave the silver badge, but then I had some leftover wrap from the headlights actually, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to stick it on, just see how it looks, and it's not actually black, it's kind of like a sort of dark grey, and I actually think it looks alright. I thought I'd just give it a go. Actually, I was quite pleased with it in the end. So did the lights, did the badge, and then I don't know where I got the idea from, but for some reason I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do the bonnet. I obviously got the idea from somewhere, but then when I thought about it, I thought, well, actually, it's got black mirrors, it's got a black roof. It kind of feeds through the car. It's got that sort of black line anyway. So I thought, okay, well, again, that was about 80 quid I think I spent on this, which is a 3M wrap, 3M 2080, gloss black, and yeah, basically, watched a couple of YouTube videos, and yeah, with my trusty heat gun, actually saying I didn't really use the heat gun much, yeah, basically just wrapped it. Now it's not perfect. I did make a bit of a mistake. What I actually did when I was wrapping this sort of crease in the bonnet, I should have squeegeed this out first, because you sort of wrap the material around the bonnet, and I should have squeegeed that. I actually ended up doing it last, which meant that I had a sort of air bubble all around here. And although I had to make a few sort of pinholes to help get it out. Yeah, a couple of pinholes, but I got it out from this part, but the problem is it all ended up bunching up about here. So if you look closely, I have got some rather unfortunate creases, but from a distance, it's actually it's not really noticeable, so I'm not too bothered about that. And then what else I did, again with the light wrap, I thought I'd do the back as well, do the back light bar. I've done these. This was a little bit tricky because of the curve. Basically, when it comes to wrapping, if there's curves, it gets difficult because all the tension gets sort of, or whatever the opposite of tension, all kind of gets caught up in a corner. When you know, you can sort of stretch it out, but eventually it has to kind of find somewhere to come out, if you like. So there's a slight kind of sort of tiny bit lifting up there, but again, from a distance you don't really notice it. The worst part was actually underneath, trying to get it to sort of come under here. Originally I was going to do the whole thing, but actually in the end I thought, you know what, I messed up, but I thought actually I'm going to leave that because that's the indicators as well as the brake lights, so it's probably better that they're clearer anyway. But yeah, kind of under here, the curve of the light and the shape of it, just, yeah, it's not an easy thing to wrap. I ran out of the APA stuff, so I ended up going on Amazon and I got some Vivid dark smoke light wrap, which is what I've done, not the whole of this, but just a strip along here, just to kind of black out the badge, and yeah, just kind of take the edge off that. Just, I don't know, I just think it looks smarter, which I think just gives it a bit more of a kind of stealthy, slightly aggressive look. So yeah. Oh, actually no. I also did the fog light down here. Again, I just had some spare wrap and these sort of reflectors either side. I just think they're just red. Normally look a bit naff. So yeah, generally, I just think it smartens it up. And I tidied up the back. I got rid of the MG4 and electric badges. I don't have a problem with it saying what it is, but I don't know. I just feel like the back end just looks nicer without the badges on. I do that with all my cars. I've always liked debadging. Just sort of clutters up the car, I think, with the badges on there. So that's that. And then I did give in to the AliExpress, albeit I got them from eBay. Fins, I think they're called. These sort of these thingy bobbies. They just stick them on basically. I wasn't going to do it, but then I thought, actually, do you know what? I feel like it just, I don't know, it adds that sort of aggression to it, which just, I don't know, just looks cool. So yeah, that's kind of the look now. Black sort of feeding through into the roof. I suppose the other change I did also was the rear plate, and I don't think that many people actually like it, but I like it. The square rear plate, which I think is a little bit sort of importy, but also I feel like it sort of feeds through this this sort of shape under here, sort of seems to line up. So yeah, this sort of bit, sort of recess in the black, sort of lines up with the plate, and again you've got this sort of recess in here, that recess up in there, so this sort of line seems to sort of feed through. So there's a bit of logic there. That's all the changes I've made to the car. Again, they're only cosmetic, pretty simple stuff really. So lastly, in terms of mileage wise, 36, yeah, just coming up to 36,000 miles. Still no problems, no kind of major, it's not been into the garage for anything other than a routine service. The only thing I can think that's a bit of an annoyance was the rear view camera on the 360 display. Let me show you. Yeah, so one thing I had that was a bit of an annoyance. Yeah, the rear view camera, it looks like it might be doing it slightly at the moment. This sort of rear triangle, if you like. Didn't even know it did that. That's interesting. You can make the 360 view bigger. There you go. You learn something every day. This sort of rear triangle, you can see it's slightly discoloured at the moment. Sometimes it's gone a bit flickery. I can still kind of see what it's showing, but yeah, a little bit flickery, like a dodgy connection kind of thing, which may even be you know, a kind of, let's give it a little push and a little wobble, make sure everything's kind of well connected in there. Yeah, it's not made any difference, but that seemed to sort it out last time when it was flickering, so... Oh, it's not flickering now, but it does look a little bit different. So possibly a replacement reversing camera on the horizon. Yeah, other than that, yeah. No, I've had no more 12 volt issues. I had the two issues I'd had in 25,000 miles, but hasn't gone dead again on me. And it has, I'm pretty sure it's been sat for at least a good few days, so that hasn't recurred. Yeah, no other issues.